All right. I think we're recording here. I'm using a brand new software, so hopefully this works. It's not brand new. I'm using OBS, but I was using Zoom before, and it was a pain in the ass. It took forever to put together. With OBS, it's a lot easier. But I never really figured out OBS. I never really figured out how to. But I think I got it figured out to where it works for me. And what was happening is I would play videos when I was using OBS, and they were like delayed or something. So hopefully I got the frames per second. Even right now it's lagging. So I don't know. I'll just have to deal with it. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out the podcast. Really appreciate it. And welcome to today's show. Wanted to let you guys know that I've been banned on YouTube once again on my main channel. So I'll upload to the backup channel, which is just type in OK Patriot 76 podcast, and I will upload my stuff there for the next week until next Tuesday. And it's kind of a terrible time to be banned. It's not really a good time anyway, anytime, but right now especially, I'm putting out new music, and that's my largest platform, and I need to be able to promote that over there, but it's fine. So if you're listening, I just put out a new album today, and it's crazy because it was supposed to come out October 1st, but I hit the wrong button, and so I uploaded it because if you don't set the date, it uploads the default. So I uploaded it Monday night, and it got there yesterday. That's how fast it is. It's crazy. So it was on iTunes yesterday, and then it's on Spotify, and it's not on YouTube yet, but it will be there eventually. But there's another album that's going to be released October 1st. It's called Soul Food, and it's new stuff. So this album that's out now called Southern Comfort, it's all the country blues stuff, and it's crazy to me because people were demanding me to release it. I was like, hey, I have 3 albums that I am the last one I'm gonna wait a little bit to release because all this music at once, it's just not a good idea. I kind of changed my mind on that, but I'm put on 2 albums within a week, so I think that's enough for a while. But the last album is going to be closer to Christmas. But it's crazy to me that there's people out there that are fans of this, because to me, I just this is instrumental music. I've heard for years, this sucks, whatever. But I really do put a lot of work into it, and also Spotify. This is another thing. Spotify made a official playlist for me. They went through all my catalog, and they put this is conservative playlist together. So I thought that was insane. That's crazy. That's so freaking crazy to me. So I got new music out. If you listen to this podcast, I put up a couple of exclusive videos over on YouTube before I got banned on Monday or Sunday night. I can't remember when I did the last audio podcast. But if you're listening, I did a video. It was an hour long. It took forever to make. But it was all of the protests that happened this last weekend. And this past weekend was the freedom rally thing. So I put that together. It's on YouTube if you haven't seen it. I also put together a video from the Timcast IRL whenever Alex Jones was on there. People got mad. People got pissed off. But I thought it was funny. I'm not trying to take Alex Jones out of context. I really am not. I'm just trying to make a meme. I'm just trolling, okay? I'm not trying to get him out of context or whatever. I tried really hard to not do that because I know he's been the victim of that in the past, and I really don't want to do that, and I hate when they do it to Trump, and I actually hate when they do it to Biden, because the people on the right take things out of context when it comes to Biden a lot. That's why it's important to go and find the full video, the full context, and actually see what he actually said. And then if it's crazy, then he's crazy. But for the most part, I think he says a lot of crazy stuff. But there's a couple things recently that they snipped the video, and then they posted it, and it went viral, and I went and looked at it. I'm like, it's not really that big of a deal, or it wasn't really that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people on both sides do that, and I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to make a meme. That's all I was trying to do. So if you want to laugh, go and watch that. It's supposed to be for everybody. Like, if you're on the other side, if you're liberal, like, you can laugh at this. Like, that's the thing about Alex Jones. Like, if you watch him, if you're on the right, you watch him for, like, news, but if you're on the left, you can watch him for entertainment. Like, that's just how Alex Jones has been able to be successful, and even while he's banned. So I also watched him on his he did an exclusive thing with Tim Pool on his site, band.video, and I watched that. And also Cass Castle, he was on there as well. So anyway, I wanted to let you guys know, I keep on forgetting about this. Follow me on Telegram, because I'm sharing a lot more stuff over on Telegram. If you haven't checked out Telegram, download Telegram. There's a lot of cool information. And there is the video that's going to drop tonight with Project Veritas. I'm not going to talk about that on YouTube. And you probably already seen it. I think it's cool that people are coming forward, and that lady, what's her name? Something O'Malley or something like that. They already raised like almost $500,000. So that's awesome. So it goes to show you that if you come out and do the right thing, that people will rally around you and take care of you and make sure you're taken care of, because her career is gone. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about her being like officially fired or not, but I'm pretty sure that she's probably not going to have a job. But that's what she signed up for when she came out, and I respect that. So yeah. Follow me on Telegram. I'm going to be posting like a lot more stuff over there. If you're noticing, Instagram is like censored people, like including my page, and so I can post stuff and it doesn't go out to everybody. So at least Telegram, you'll get a notification. It's like it works like just like an email. There's no algorithm. It works just like an email. So you either see it, like you either, if you don't see it, you don't see it. If you see it, you see it, right? You actually go to my channel and you get to see everything that I posted instead of going into a feed. It's like a different thing. So if you're not on Telegram, highly recommend it. And that's a good place to follow me in case I get banned. There's a lot of people on there that are banned everywhere else, and they're on there and they can be able to talk freely and stuff like that, put messages out and things like that. So I don't know why Trump isn't not on there. Maybe he is, I don't know, but Telegram seems like a good platform for Trump. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, let's roll this intro and let's get into the show. So, I want to start out with this song right here. This is awesome, dude. I don't know if you have heard of this guy, but this guy, his name is Samson, and I first heard of this guy I found a video of him I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, and I saved the video and I was like, I'm going to talk about this on the podcast. Never did. And go check out, I think he got banned off of TikTok, but there's still some videos on there. But I find a lot of stuff from TikTok, and then I go and look and see if they have other, because I don't use TikTok all the time, but it's a great place to find content and find interesting people. And so he's on YouTube. Just type in Samson. There's a space in between the Sam and the Sun. Samson. And dude, I'm not gonna play the whole video. I don't want to get like a copyright thing, and I don't want to take his stuff. But this guy, in my opinion, with all due respect to Tom McDonald, this guy's way better than Tom McDonald. Just to be honest, like, I think Tom is great, but listen, I'm going to play like half of this. Listen to this.
I love high gas prices. I love paying more for groceries, and I really love seeing taxes rise. It's so good knowing that I'm giving more but receiving less. It makes me feel humble, but I'm gonna stop with the sarcasm right there, cause I swear we're living in a real jungle. It's what? Pretty simple to me though, it's way past being left or right. Just use your head and common sense and think about how you've been affected in daily life. Is it easier or is it harder? That's the most important question you should think of first, cause life is a bitch already as it is, and you don't need someone that's gonna make it worse. Ask me? I think we're fucked. Don't give me that look, everything sucks. Have you gone outside? Have you been to the store? Have you compared the prices to a year before? Do you drive a car? Have you pumped gas? Don't lie to me now, it sucks ass. You can brush it off like it's a fucking joke, but the media lies, numbers don't. Ooh, you can't play Biden, it isn't him. Well, who the fuck is it then? What jacked up the prices? I wanna know why I spend so much up at Conoco. I don't know. I think it's insane that the leader of the country gets no blame, cause the whole entire time, the last 4 years, it was cheap as fuck. I'm just saying, now watch. Down in the comment section, someone's gonna give us an economy lesson. I can't wait to hear your expert analysis on fluctuation and how expenses balance. Hey, it's all a part of the process. What the hell you bitching for? It's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot about the 16 cents that I saved on hot dogs for 4th of July. What a fucking steal. Too bad I spent more on gas just to get to Target. So by the time I got done buying all this shit and filling up my car, I had way less than when I started. Now, I don't really call that saving. No, I call that losing money. It doesn't take a genius to do simple math, but apparently you can't, so who's the dummy? I'm just pissed off. This inflation's fucked up, but I gotta sit here and act like I love this administration with a thumbs up? Stupid. Everything is hell, but you act like I'm supposed to be in heaven. You know our country ain't doing too good when the Waffle Houses start to close at 11. Dude, he can barely talk, and don't act like I'm being overzealous. Every time the man speaks, I have no fucking clue what he's trying to tell us. Every speech is like a gag reel. Every time I see the shit, I'm like, is that real? Well, considering the fact that the only other option was Trump, I don't think it's such a bad deal. Fuck that, I want a strong leader. The strength of a man should be constantly tested, especially when you're in the most powerful position in the world. That should be not even a question. There's really not enough words that can describe the craziness we're facing, dude. But the crazier part is there's still people you need to sit down and really explain this to. Come on, man. Just watch a press conference. You'll see the Joe is all gone. He literally says out loud that he has a list of people he's supposed to call on. And even then he fucks that up. The whole thing is hella awkward. COVID-19 ain't his biggest enemy. It's the goddamn teleprompter. It feels like we don't even have a leader. It's like we're all just following blindly. Each of my grandparents could run circles around him in a debate and they're almost 90. Look at him.
Dude, this guy goes on and on and on. He just like bar after bar after bar after bar. Check out his other videos. Like there was this one that went viral. Like whenever COVID first started, he came out and I don't know. It's just so freaking good. And that this song is from the one that he uploaded on the September 21st video. 46 equals 13. I haven't listened. This is as far as I gotten into the video. I need to check out the rest of the video, but I just saw that he posted this, and I was like, I'm gonna react to this. I got like a minute into it before I started the podcast, but dude, that's freaking good. And I'm assuming since it's 46 equals 13, he kind of ties Biden into what happened in Afghanistan. But I just thought I would share that with you guys. If you haven't checked out Samson. I think he has some stuff on Spotify, but all of his stuff is on YouTube or TikTok, I believe. So give that guy a listen. Check out his his stuff. So I want to start out with this story here. This is so freaking crazy. So a Tacoma, Washington elementary school told students to wear a mask while chewing and swallowing their lunch. When asked to explain the bizarre policy, the district pointed to guidance that didn't exist. In fact, it said the opposite of what they claimed. This is crazy. The email caught Michael off guard. He has a kid enrolled in this school. The principal told the students that they need to wear masks during lunch, but okay, it says yes. Children should wear masks during lunch. They can lower it to take a bite or drink, or raise it to chew and swallow or talk. Our cafeteria has a fantastic airflow system, and children are spaced apart, and when over 100 of them are in a large room, we need to treat lunchtime as a dangerous time for all. Children need to continue to wear masks during lunch. Why is this a thing? This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So you can go check out this dumbass article from Jason Rantz. He's on Twitter. He's from Seattle area, and he's a conservative talk show host up there. I mean, this is just ridiculous, dude. What? I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Like I saw this picture, and I don't know where it was. I think it was definitely in a blue state, but it was somewhere. I want to say it was somewhere in Tennessee, that's not a blue state. Maybe Kentucky, maybe. I don't know, but it was like a picture of this lunchroom. Oh, it was Chicago, somewhere in like Illinois, I think. This picture of this lunchroom, and they didn't have like the table. They didn't have like a traditional table. They had chairs where they had to sit down, and all the chairs were spaced like probably 2 foot apart. I mean, that's just ridiculous, dude. I mean, this is just insane, dude. Hobbs also cited the food service and school meals section from the CDC. Again, there's not even mention from eating lunch. The focus is on social distancing. She also cites local guidance from the health department. None of these documents reference masking when chewing. It includes the same guidance from the CDC. It's not even possible to eat with a mask on. I mean, that is. I mean, look, I understand social distancing. I understand social distancing, and I think that maybe you should probably do that. But wearing a mask while eating, get the fuck out of town. Get away. Get out of town. Take your kids out of this school. Like, honestly, just absolutely ridiculous. This caught my attention. I want to see why George Floyd is trending. I just want to see this. I'm very curious about why George Floyd. Traditional negotiators have failed to reach a deal on police reform. Okay. All right. Well, I might talk about that later, but anyway, let's talk about this big story coming out of Oklahoma City, if this will ever load. Oklahoma City Thunder is going to require COVID-19 vaccine or negative test from the home games. So let's just see what the good people of Oklahoma City have to say. And this will probably be an ad. Let me see if this will play without an ad.
Don't know.
Let me see here. Of course. Let me see. Sorry, guys, if you're listening or watching this. I want to try to be able to upload this without editing in it, because that's what takes forever. So it's basically saying that they have to have a negative COVID test within 72 hours or show proof of vaccine. They can upload it with this special app, this Thunder app. But I think they interviewed people. Let me see what these were. speaking of kids and masks, the organization will also require masks for kids 11 and under who are not yet to be vaccinated.
In order for me to move around the way I want to freely, I should be able to do that without being pressured into something that I just simply don't want to do.
Well, okay, let me just say this. I just thought about this. I just want to say hats off to News 4, K4, for actually doing some journalism. Like, after their big ivermectin debacle, they're actually going out on the street and doing some journalism, and they're getting different opinions. That's journalism to me, but they didn't do that with the ivermectin story. Maybe they learned their lesson on that.
I think it's a wonderful idea so it won't spread, and so let everybody be safe and have fun at the games.
Yes, I would feel mostly safe knowing that someone next to me has been vaccinated.
I feel like it could be an infringement on people's rights, forcing them to get a vaccine that they don't know what it's going to do.
We don't view this as a vaccine mandate. What this is a series of options that you have to come to our game, but allow the environment to be safe.
It's not a mandate? Really? I mean, I guess you can choose not to come. You can definitely watch it on TV. But for the people who bought season tickets and they bought the box or whatever, like I know people who have box seats and stuff like that where they have a room up there, companies own rooms and, whatever. I wonder if it applies to them. I mean, I guess if they have to get in, they have to do it. But from my understanding, it's the Thunder, the more on the NBA, more on the NBA that is doing this. But the Paycom Center, formerly known as the Chesapeake Arena Center or the Ford Center, I like to call it the Ford Center. That's what I know it as. It's more on the NBA is doing this. They require vaccine passports or whatever, where you have to upload it through a Thunder app. So, but I also did see, speaking of the Paycom Center recently came out and said they're going cashless. So that was like the first thing that happened like a week ago, where people got pissed off. And I don't know, like I feel like most people when they go to these games, they use cash. They're buying beer and stuff like that and food, and you're buying shirts. Like normally you would use cash in that, but I don't know. People got pissed off at that. Like I don't like to use my card at places that very few places I don't like to use cards. I like to use cash. So people got pissed off at that, and then they come out the other day and said you have to show proof of vaccine to get into the game. And the this guy from the team, he's like, it's not a mandate, but it's going to allow the environment to be safe. I guess okay. A lot of people are pissed. They're canceling their tickets, and I never did imagine that I would see this in Oklahoma. I thought that it would be safe, but like here's the thing: the reason why I'm against these vaccine passports or these mandates or these proof of whatever. Here is this lady, fully vaccinated, in Toronto, Canada, who she was refused service because she couldn't find her vaccine card. Apparently, it's mandatory to show your proof of vaccine in Canada today, or at least in Toronto. So watch this. This is ridiculous.
I had something stolen, so I have. Okay, but and then you can see your vaccine. I had my vaccine.
This is a very serious problem. You have a very serious problem.
I had my vaccine. You can call my doctor.
So this woman is at McDonald's, and she can't get food because she doesn't have her vaccine card because of health. She can't. I'm like, she can't get McDonald's because of health reasons. right? We want to keep everybody healthy and safe. You can't get your McDonald's, which I don't know. I feel like maybe she should go somewhere else, but at the same time, I mean, it's not like, I mean, she has a mask on. She's fully vaccinated, right? And so my problem is that I know people. I know how people are. And older people don't normally have smartphones. Maybe some do, but in my experience, in my neck of the woods, they have flip phones. And so they're not going to be able to carry or keep up with a card, right? Maybe they are. But I've been around, like I've worked in stores whenever I was in college, and I've checked out older people who took forever to find their fucking card or their coupon, or like they couldn't, or they left it at home. This system is not gonna work. Like, it's just not gonna work, and so you know, it's just very it's just gonna be very inconvenient for a lot of people, including this lady can't even get service even though she has money and she has a mask on. She's following the rules. She's fully vaccinated, but she can't get service because she doesn't have her card. That is just ridiculous, dude. Like, I mean, just like the guy in the video says, it's a problem. It's a freaking problem. So, I don't know, guys. It is a crazy, crazy world. So let's talk about this crazy story that came out today, or yesterday. Apple is working on iPhone features to help detect depression, cognitive decline. So this company is working with UCLA Biogen to see if sensitive data like facial expressions, typing metrics could signal mental health concerns. So they're going to use an array of sensor data that includes mobility, physical activity, sleep patterns, typing behavior, and more. Researchers hope that they can tease out digital signals associated with the target condition so that algorithms can be created to detect them. Reality, the people said, Apple hopes that would help. That would become the basis for unique features for its device. And also, they're also working on a project with Duke University that aims to create an algorithm to detect childhood autism, including to use the iPhone's camera to observe how young children focus, according to documents and people familiar with the work. The promise of detection tools for people with severe mood disorders is that you can intervene early and potentially prevent worse outcomes. So that's really creepy. And this comes after they got a lot of backlash for saying that they're going to go into people's iCloud's account and look at their photos. And I don't know if they reversed that or they still are doing that, but this is just more creepy, right? You know, it's kind of like with this vaccine thing. It's not really about health. It's about something else behind it. Like, they're using this as a front to have another thing behind the scenes that they're doing, right? All this is they're trying to I mean, like, it's a huge privacy concern. Yes, there's people, like, it's, if you read the article, this is a long ass article I'm not going to read, but it basically says because of the pandemic last year, more people are on their phones and it's causing problems, depression, and things like that, right? Which is true. It's a huge problem. You know, a lot of people died from suicide last year, which you won't hear that on the news, but huge problem. But in the other story about them scanning the iCloud account, they said that they could notify if they find something, if they find CP, on your iCloud, they can call the police. So my concern, if they figure out that you have depression, and if they determine, or if this algorithm determines that you have depression, are they going to call the police on you? So they're looking at your phone, they're looking at your photos, they see that you have guns, you're a Second Amendment guy, but you also are, struggle with depression. That could be a problem. That could be a problem. Sometimes algorithms are wrong. Sometimes algorithms are wrong, right? The video that got deleted on my channel, the algorithm was wrong. I appealed it, and they reviewed it, and they said the algorithm was right. So, but I think it's wrong because what I posted was not misinformation. And so, I don't know. And have you ever dealt with Apple? Like I tried for years and years and years and years to get my podcast on Apple Podcast, and the website didn't even work. Right? And then so I tried to call Apple earlier this year to deal with some other things. I was going to develop an app or something. It didn't work out, but their website was fucked. Like their website was just ridiculous. So they, like, and the guy on the phone was like, I'm sorry, yada, yada, yada. But Apple, even though it's a big company, they can be wrong. And like, it's none of their business if you have depression. Right? It's none of their business, like, what your physical activity, your sleep patterns, your behaviors, like, of course they probably already know that. But the fact that they're going to do it to kids too, they're going to use the camera to view kids, that's more concerning than doing it to adults. Right? And I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, we all seen the Mark Zuckerberg famous picture with him with tape over his camera. Yeah. It's nothing new. It's nothing new under the sun. I didn't really want to talk about this, but it's happening and it's current and it's something different to talk about other than COVID. But I wasn't planning on talking about it, but I wanted to say a couple things regarding this Gabby Petito situation. If you don't know what's happening, you can go check out the Quartering's videos. He kind of made several videos detailing every move that happened, but it's this girl that they recently found that they found her body. They found her remains. It was confirmed yesterday or the day before that it was her remains that was found in the woods, and it's a horrible situation. I feel terrible for the family, but the more ridiculous thing is that how the media is treating this. Like, they hyped up this story, and then you have some people like Joy Reid and Don Lemon coming out and saying that it's racist. Like, the media is racist for not talking about more black people that disappear. It is kind of strange. Like, there's people who disappear every single day. Like, if you're on Facebook at all, in your local circle, like, I see people all the time that disappear, of all races, right? It's people disappear, and unfortunately, it's usually girls who, and that's really like a red flag. I mean, that's really horrible. I mean, it's horrible when anybody disappears, but it's usually females that, for some reason, they disappear, they go missing or something. But it is kind of strange that this video was hyped up. But it's kind of like that story that Chris guy from Colorado, can't remember his name, doesn't matter, but that Chris guy who worked in the oil field, and he put his kids in a tanker, like a oil tank. Horrible situation, but I was like, why is this story like mainstream, like international known, like people know what that guy looks like? It's a horrible situation, right? There was a story here in Oklahoma like 10 years ago that happened in my hometown, that this girl got killed by this guy, and same type of deal. It was two two kids, and they buried this girl out in the woods, and they didn't find her. But it was a national, like, they were on 2020, they were on the news, like, they were on ABC, they were on What Will You Do, the TV show What Will You Do. And I was like, I mean, it's a horrible situation, but I don't know. I think maybe they're, I don't know, like, I want to believe that they're trying to do the right thing, and, you know, spread light that this is a problem. But at the same time, it's almost like they pushed this story and they blew up this story just to criticize the fact that, oh, well, the media is racist. We don't talk about black people when they go missing. Here's an idea, Joy Reid, Don Lemon. You're two black people in the media. Why don't you why don't you create a show talking about black people who go missing? Why do you do that, right? But I don't know. It's definitely interesting, but I think the media is the media, and so it's all about headlines. And so whenever you put out a headline that YouTuber goes missing and that kind of thing, it gets a lot of clicks and things like that. But I just wanted to say a couple things about that. It's but like I said, go over to the Quartering on YouTube. He did like a whole detailed video. He's probably still doing updates about it, but it's a very interesting story. It's a horrible situation, but anyway, I'm going to keep this podcast short, and hopefully I'll be able to do more podcasts this way if I keep them short, 30 to 45 minutes. Speaking of podcasts, I almost forgot. I started my other podcast back. So if you love country music and you are subscribed to Spotify Premium, you can go over to Spotify and type in Red Dirt Country Review. And most of my listeners are on Spotify, so that's the only way I could do it without being sued or whatever, or getting my stuff taken down. Because of their algorithm, like I use this Anchor, I think it's called Anchor, and it's owned by Spotify, and I'm able to basically put the songs in there when I'm recording, and it's really cool how they do it. It goes from my podcast, and then it switches over and plays the song that I want to play, and then it comes back to my podcast. But like I said, it's only on Spotify, and you have to pay for Spotify to get the podcast. So it's over there. It's Red Dirt Country Review. Just type in that if you want to hear. I did a podcast last night. It's like an hour and 30 minutes, and so I'm kind of podcast out, but more podcasts to come. Thank you so much for listening. Check out the website if you want to support the podcast. Go over to okpatriot76.com, and we just launched this brand new coffee subscription service, and so you can go over here and subscribe, and let's just I'll just show you here. Let's say you want the Cowboy blend, which is a very popular blend, and if you subscribe to it, and it's loading here, if you subscribe to it, you're going to get a discount. So it's not going to be $16.99, it's going to be $13.59. $13.59. So you can do there it is. So you can do every 2 weeks or every week. So that'll be $13.59 a week, or $15.29, and it's free shipping in the U.S. So you pay that every 2 weeks. So I mean, think about it. Like this, it's premium coffee at home. So that, like, if you go to the coffee shop and pay $5 or $7 a cup for coffee, or I think the average is like $5. So let's say you're paying $5, and that's every day for 2 weeks. That's like $70. So it's either $70 or $15. So take your pick, and it ships right away. It's right away. So anyway, go check out the store. We also have other stuff besides coffee. I just like to promote that because it's something different other than like T-shirts or hats or Trump stuff, or I kind of get tired of that. So it's something different if you want to support the podcast. There's also a Cash App down there if you want to do that, or a PayPal link. It's not required, but if you want to support the podcast, those are ways you can do that. But just listening and following the podcast, leave me a rating on iTunes. And thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. God bless.